What is going on, YouTube? This is Garrett DJ Deuce. It is Saturday, June 23rd. I have not made a pickup video in almost 2 years now. Reason being is it's just too time consuming. I wanted to balance out my life a little more. Plus, I just didn't have enough time to edit the videos and footage and whatnot anymore. So I decided to retire from that. I have not retired from game hunting. I still go out and hit up yard sales, the occasional thrift store, pawn shops and whatnot. But I've been actually posting all my finds on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me on my Instagram, it is Launchpad Arcade, all one word. That's LAUNCHPAD Arcade. I've been trying to keep that kind of current. I'm still going through pictures because I still take pictures of my pickups as I get them and notate like how much I paid and everything. So I'm trying to update that as much as possible. So there may be some new pictures that I post that were from scores from like last year or the year before that and whatnot. So I will try to keep that as active as possible. So if you guys want to follow me and see what I've been up to as far as picking up games and whatnot, you can follow me there. But I decided to do this pickup video because this is the most excited I've been in a long time for pickups, mainly because of that little pickup right there in the middle. That was from a collector who only had the Game Gear on his yard sale table. And so I'd asked him if he had any more things. He said he did. I told him I was a collector, showed him pictures of the game room, and so he pulled his car out of the garage so that he could pull some tubs out, and he let me go through them. And he was like, I've been collecting for a long time. He's 45 years old and he's military, so he's been collecting here and there. He's got a ton of stuff. He wasn't too sure if he wanted to sell, all of it. So what I did was, okay, I told him, I tell you what, I'll just pick what I'm interested in, and then we'll go from there. So I had to be very careful in doing that because I didn't want to overwhelm him or give him anxiety, like, oh my gosh, my collection is going to go, that kind of thing. So I mean, this doesn't even amount to like what he has. He had at least 8 tubs of video games and systems. So I just kind of picked out what I was mostly interested in, and then went from there. So when it came down to, making the pile, negotiations took place. Basically, I just said, hey, from one collector to another, like, how much would you want, for this stuff? And he took a look through some things, and he said, okay, how about $200? So we shook hands on $200, and then he said, I'll tell you what, I'll knock off another $20 if you can show me your game room. So sometime next week, we're gonna try to work out an arrangement, a time and day for him to come over and check out the game room. Told him he could film and whatnot, take pictures, just don't disclose where it's at. So I pretty much picked up all the stuff for $180. So I'm not going to go over a lot of the titles, and you guys probably already saw most of the titles from me just focusing on this, but there's a lot of good stuff in here. I got that Roku 3 because it was on his yard sale table, so I threw that in there to bundle up everything. But for the most part, I'm going to keep the Game Gear, the ColecoVision add-ons, probably the Power Glove, the Roku, the Atari 5200 controller, which is awesome, and maybe Rambo 3. Everything else I'm probably going to either sell or trade. Oh, except for the 5200 cartridges, I'm keeping those too. So yeah, pretty good haul for $180. And I actually went to this yard sale at 1:30 in the afternoon. I was on Craigslist, and I got done doing a couple of, like, at least 3 or 4 community yard sales that were pretty huge. And then I was going to head to another one, and then I decided to check Craigslist and saw this ad pop up that said, what does it say, classic video games. So I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and give it a try anyways to see if there's anything left, because it was late in the afternoon again. It was like 1 or 1:30 or something like that. So that was the only thing that was on the table. So I thought I missed out on a lot, but turns out that he just had like a Nintendo Wii, and I forget what else he said, but he sold those. I'm surprised nobody picked up that Game Gear though. But anyways, nice guy. His name's John, 45 years old. He's been collecting for a while. He and his family are moving to Rhode Island next week. We exchanged numbers, and we've been actually texting back and forth about an hour ago just about collecting and the 80s and 90s era. Pretty good conversation. So he told me that he may let go of some more stuff. He had a top loader that I really wanted because it had 2 dog bone controllers with it, those are pretty uncommon, but he didn't want to let that go just yet. Plus he had a crap ton more NES cartridges. He didn't have a Super Nintendo though. He said he mentioned having a TurboGrafx, so maybe he'll be inclined to let that go. So if anything's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen before next weekend because that's when he moves. So I'm just gonna do my best to keep in touch with him, show him the game room, and then hopefully that'll motivate him to allow me to get some of his collection to add into my collection. So $180 for this pickup. All right, we're not going in order here, so just bear with me. This was the first yard sale that I hit this morning. There was an ad that popped up on Craigslist that said vintage Nintendo, and then a bunch of other stuff, but it said vintage Nintendo. So I was thinking in my head it was probably just a Nintendo console, maybe having some games and whatnot. So I was like, you know what, it starts at 8 o'clock. There was no reply to information on it, so I couldn't email and kind of ask what it was. So 8 o'clock was the start time, so I showed up there at 7:30, and it was in the middle of nowhere, so I was the only one there. She didn't even have signs up yet, but I had the address plugged in my GPS. So she was setting up some things on out in her driveway, and I helped her with a couple of bed frames and heavy items from downstairs to bring upstairs. And so I'd asked her, I saw these on the table, and I'd asked her how much did she want for all of it. And she said, how many consoles are there? I was like, there were 3. And she's like, okay, well, these belong to my 30-year-old son. He moved to Denver, Colorado, and left these behind. So how does $15 a system sound? I didn't even bat an eye, didn't even try to haggle her down to 40. I pulled out 45 out of my wallet and gave it to her. Everything's complete except for the Nintendo 64. It's missing the controller, and it's got a standard jumper. But aside from that, everything else, that box is minty fresh back there. The console is minty fresh. It came with the Halo controller and another green see-through controller, which is awesome. So $45 for all that. All right, over here we have games that I picked up for $2 each from another community yard sale, one seller. I'm not gonna go over the titles. Over here, these games were $1 a piece. I did a pit stop at a Goodwill and found these Complete in Box Game Boy Advance games. The prices range from $3.99 to $4.99. In fact, I think all of them were $3.99 except for Top Gun. All right, some more yard sale finds, just a couple dollar games. That 60-watt MagSafe power adapter was free. It was in a trash pile, but what was strange was that the power adapter was in there. So I'm not gonna complain with free. I just grabbed it and they said you can have it, so I took it. Next up, this is a $20 bundle from another sale. This was probably the best part of the bundle deal, was this N-Gage game, Glimmerati, which is a pretty obscure one to find, especially complete. And it also came with some additional games, which was awesome. So $20 for that stack. Paid $1 for this P90X. It's all there. It's in Spanish though, but these will still sell on eBay. All right. Over here, this was a weird garage sale pickup. So I went to one yard sale, and there was obviously people that bought up storage lockers because there were tables and tables of stuff. There was some stuff that was water damaged, some stuff that was sun faded, some stuff that looked like they just covered it with a tarp and left it out there for weeks or months. But I had asked them, when I looked at all the stuff in the tables and they didn't really have much as far as games or anything. So I asked them if they had any video games, and they said, yes, we have more stuff in the house, and I do recall seeing, some tubs full of games and whatnot. You're more than welcome to go in there and take a look. So I did, and that house was a pigsty. It was a hoarder's house. There was stuff everywhere. So I started going through dressers that had stuff packed in there. There were tubs. of just miscellaneous things. There were entertainment centers that had like sliding out drawers that had games in it. So basically what I did was I grabbed a box, this box right here, and then I started putting games that I found in tubs, and not just any games. I mean, there were a stack of games and I would pull out like maybe 2 or 3. You know, I was basically cherry picking like all the good stuff. So when it came down to, you know, after getting the box all filled up and everything, I'd asked them, I said, how much, you know, do you want for everything? So they kind of looked at everything and they said, how does $40 sound? I said, that sounds perfect to me. So I just gave them $40. And I left them my number in case, you know, they, you know, had any more games that, you know, they might have had upstairs. It was a 2-story house, but as you can see, there's a lot of good titles in here. A lot of random titles for random platforms. But that Twin Snakes down there, I mean, it's just insane. Some of these games are sealed too, like this Jade Empire, which was sitting on top, that's sealed. This Otogi Myth of Demons is sealed for the original Xbox. There's Armed and Dangerous, which is also factory sealed. So just a bunch of random stuff. I guess they were mostly selling like a lot of jewelry out there, and I'm not a jewelry guy. I mean, I could have passed up on gold or whatever, but you know, my thing is electronics or video games or pretty much anything that looks like I can flip fast on eBay. So yeah, $40 for this box. All right. Finally, so I got home, you know, unloaded all this stuff, took pictures and whatnot for the Instagram account. I laid down on the couch and I was just perusing Facebook Marketplace, and then a yard sale ad popped up on my feed, and it was like 58 minutes old. And so this is all the stuff that I got from it. So it was like yard sale, and it said Xbox and GameCube in the listing. So I messaged her name was Patty. I messaged her and said, hey, do you still have the Xbox and the GameCube? And she said, yes, I do. I was like, how much did you want for each? So she said, you know, for the GameCube, comes with a bunch of games. I want $8 for that. And for the Xbox, I want $5. So I asked her, I was like, hey, I live in Falcon, which is like 20 minutes from where her address was. I said, I can be there in about 20, 25 minutes. If you can hold those for me, I'll get those from you right now. And so she said, sure, that sounds good. So I raced down there and went there, and I asked her if she, you know, I was the guy for the games. And so she pulled those out. And so I got the original Xbox for $5. I got the GameCube, plus all these controllers with the joysticks all missing. I got that for $8, but it came with a bunch of games, the good one being Smash Brothers. They're all scratched up, but still $8. Can't complain with that. She also said she had a PS2 Slim, which she sold to me for $5. She had some other games out for sale. I was able to bundle Morrowind and the Blue Wiimote for $1. I got those 2 Xbox One games for $3 each, and I got this awesome paintball gun for $5. So I paid a total of $30 for everything here. So not too bad. I mean, I literally just sat on the couch and was laying there for about 30 minutes just going through YouTube, watching pickup videos from other YouTubers like Chase After the Right Price, the Tatted Collector. I still watch a little bit of CJR's videos. Just a bunch of new YouTubers that popped up. You know, I like how they do their pickups and whatnot. So I kind of live my life, you know, through them now. As far as making consistent pickup videos, I just live my life through that now, and mainly just post everything on Instagram now because it's just a lot easier. So you know, at the same time, I want to make videos for you guys, but you know, because that's what I loved doing back then. But at the same time, I just don't have the time. So I figured if I at least post on Instagram, you guys can sort of still follow like the stuff that I pick up and whatnot. So that is pretty much it for today, and it's only Saturday. So tomorrow I'm gonna go to the flea market. I've been skipping the flea markets on Saturdays now because basically yard sale season started, so I've been having more luck at yard sales than the flea markets. So yard sales always take precedence over the flea market on Saturdays now. Sunday, not a lot of people do yard sales on Sundays. Plus, if they do, you know, a lot of the stuff is picked over. So that's when I hit the flea market, and I usually have a couple of vendors out there still that hold things for me. So I'll pick up lots from them. But yeah, so that is pretty much it as far as this pickup video. Oh, also a couple announcements. I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking and got back into full-time fitness. And so that's another reason why I don't do the videos, because I go to the gym every day. You know, I'm 46 now, so I've got to, I got to keep, at it as far as keeping my health up and my cardio up, and, making sure I have a healthy heart and lungs. So I stopped smoking last February. So it's been over a year now. I hate the smell of it now, so I know for a fact that I'm done. I mean, I do vape every once in a while whenever I feel the need to, get a little bit of nicotine in my system. I'll use a vape pen or whatever just to kind of do that. But I know for sure I'm never going to go back to smoking, because it's just, the smell of it just bothers me now. And I'm to the point now where, mentally I'm just like, why did I even do it for as long as I did? So plus I got kids and I got a wife, so I want to make sure I can live as long as I can for them. So I'm glad I was able to finally make that good life choice for myself. So anyways, guys and gals, that is pretty much it. And once again, if you want to follow my collecting adventures, or see what I've been picking up, you can follow me on Instagram. And once again, that is Launchpad Arcade, LAUNCHPAD Arcade. Right now, my profile picture is a picture of myself, my sister, and my mom. We were trolling her on a family picture. So when you see like a guy and a girl making goofy faces with the mom in the middle, that's the account. So definitely, if you want to follow me on that to see things that I pick up, because like I said, I'm not going to be making videos that often. I will be doing a 2018 room tour video just to kind of show you the changes that I've made to the game room. I've gotten rid of some sections, I've sold off some sections, and I've added some sections. So it's kind of still pretty much the same, but the layout's a lot different from what it was before. So anyways, guys and gals, once again, thank you guys for watching. And again, look out for that look out for that room tour video for 2018. There's a special package that I got from my friend Retro Rat. I promised him that I would do like a pickup video for that, because he had made a pickup video for me when I sent him some stuff. I sent him some sealed RPG games for the PS4. So anyhow, enough rambling. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the pickups and whatnot, and I will see you guys next time.